Out here on the Coral Sea, doing some extreme jigging. I'm hooked up to something that is ironing me out, but slowly making some ground on him. Put these new Wilson venoms to the test. As you can see, they've got a bit of hurt on them.
Yep. Good fish, good fish. Hang on.
Oh, I'm trying, bro. Well, pretty much skipper's put us on about 30 metres of water and we're drifting into about 50. And the idea is when you jig in sort of any depth, just get the right weight. Pretty much just dropping it all the way to the bottom, or if the skipper's telling you that the fish and bait are at 30 when you're in 60 metres, sometimes you don't need to drop it all the way down to 60 and jig all the way up. The fish are at 30, so you should maybe start there. That's the benefit of using coloured braid. So just one thing to take into account when you're fishing it. It's simple, hit the bottom and do a nice constant retrieve. There's no sort of set rules on what to do, it's whatever feels comfortable, and sometimes on the day, any retrieve can get the bite. So it's pretty much try a few different things during the day and see what works and start jigging. What are you doing, regrouping?
Regrouping. Look at that.
Look at that,
that's
flutter.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Oh.
So the sort of tools you need for a jigging trip like this, Benny. Knife jig that you've got there, you can just use a classic soft plastic. In this case it's a bit of an XOS head, 8 ounce actually, if you want to get down in big current. And I always find you're better off to work them slow rather than fast, whereas your knife jigs you can be fairly aggressive. These sort of classic soft plastics, just slow them down a bit and work them near the bottom.
Well, sometimes when you're choosing to go to a soft plastic, you're going for a subtle retrieve anyway.
Exactly.
Because they're not hitting the metals.
Yeah.
They do want something soft and a bit more subtle and a bit more fish-like, I guess, and something maybe an easier meal. So that's when you'd opt for a plastic.
Indeed. And then something that's halfway between the two, an octajig. You can retrieve it fast, you can sit it down near the bottom, work it near the bottom as well. They'll work all over the place, halfway up, all the way down the bottom.
And they've accounted for a lot of good species, kingfish, snapper, pearl perch, and now we're sort of trying them up here and see what we can get on the reef species.
Absolutely. Good to get this. Serious doggy. You're on wire.
We've hooked a massive fish. Nick the skipper's driving us out. Hopefully we can get him away from the reef. He is absolutely hurting me. Ah! I've just got introduced to Nomad Fishing Charters. Massive dogtooth, we think. Nick did the right thing, drove us away, but it's how it rolls sometimes. They run you in the reef. Fair bit of line out, as you can see. We only got him in about 60, 70 metres, and he has taken a hell of a lot of line. I've got absolutely braid burn on my finger to try and slow him down, and I had lock drag, which is a fair bit, and something's given. Out here doing some extreme jigging. Oh, he's got me deep in the reef, I think, mate. The Coral Seas with the Nomad guys, and they've put me onto a fish that is giving it to me. I'd like to say I've turned you, but as I've experienced out here, it's never over till it's over. This is the Dogtooth. I can go to the bottom any stage.
You hit you pretty hard. Were you about, how far up were you when you...
About halfway, eh?
Yeah.
Here it comes. Oh. You see the size of the doggy that was on it?
Yeah. Quickly wind, you might get your jig back. Let me leader it. Nice fish too. Oh mate, I don't know what to say. Keep that as plate.
They get much bigger up here in the Coral Sea, but any trout is a good trout, I reckon, especially on a jig. Pretty much then, me and Nick were just talking about it, this spot looks pretty trouty. So instead of just doing extreme fast jig off the bottom, we're just lifting it up off the bottom, say a couple of meters and letting it flutter back down, lifting it up, fluttering it back down, and just sort of staying connected with the bottom as much as possible. And this guy's just taking it on the drop, so it's always good seeing a trout that size come in. It looks pretty tasty, so me and the boys might keep that one tonight over a couple of beers. There we have it, the Coral Sea Dogtooth tuna. Caught on the Nomad sport fishing charters. Nick the skipper here's just put us onto a nice bommy, come from about say 20 metres, 17 metres down to about 40.
Yeah.
Something like that, and it's just as we got onto the drop off, he slammed it right at the surface, and I was like, and Nick's up the top of the town, I'm like going, what is it Nick, what is it? Because you can see it, he has it's a doggy, so we chased it down. And just got me first doggy on jig. I'm pretty pumped, so we'll get this hook out. These guys don't last long out of the water, so we'll get this hook out and then we'll release him. Good stuff.
It's Bill Klassen here from The Fishing Show, and if you like this instructional video and want to learn more, it's simple. Go to fishingshowtv.com.au and see a whole host of additional videos.